So we spent time renovating the building to restore it to its original beauty in the Chapel of Roses. And in conclusion, I'm excited to tell you that the family that has owned the chapel for the past 4 decades is now selling us the chapel at a 4% rate over a 20-year owner-financed term. And as you all know from your personal experience in finance, this is nothing short of a miracle. Any questions? Anyone? Anyone at all?
$240,000 is a lot of capital to raise. What does that get us?
Well, that's a terrific question. Well, $240,000 is really broken up in different sections. The biggest one is the $200,000 that we owe for the down payment to the family that is financing the facility to us. Beyond that, there are some repairs that we haven't been able to do ourselves. There's an electrical panel that's 80 years old. There's a heating and air conditioning system that is 40 years old, and the one that's in the lobby isn't working. As well, we have some fix-ups upstairs. We're converting the apartment into children's ministry space. We've had a dozen babies born in the last 1.5 years here at Prism. And so all of these things together total the bare minimum of resources we need, which is $240,000.
But why are we purchasing this property at all?
We need a home base. We need a place where we can do office and ministry. We have a tremendous ministry already to the community doing weddings in our small chapel. 5 years into being planted, our vision as a church remains the same: to revive believers, reach friends, and renew culture, specifically in the Pasadena area. This property in particular puts us in the path of students at both the California Institute of Technology, Caltech, and Pasadena City College. In the short term, it's perfect. It's just what we need.
But what about in the long term?
Well, in the long term, we're going to need office space that is more than what we have. And actually, this fellowship hall is a great example. When we expand our staff, we'll be able to put several different people in cubicles right in this very fellowship hall. Prism has a unique opportunity as a young church to buy a property like this, especially in a town with a high cost of living like Los Angeles. Many churches at our stage are renting a facility and slowly saving the money to buy a property or land to build their future church home on. Now, whether we stay at this property or eventually move on to another, in the long term, we'll be building equity in this one as opposed to renting somewhere else. As well, having our own building communicates a permanence. It lets people know that even though our church is only a few years old, that we're going to be around for a while.
Yes, but why this chapel specifically?
Right, this is a unique opportunity for us on several levels. We have a place that's always been a wedding chapel, never been a church, and they're willing to let us buy it from them, owner finance it to us. We also would not be able to get a loan from a bank because we're such a young church. So to have a family willing to come alongside of our church and help us along in this process is itself unique. And then finally, what makes this unique is that this is specifically where we wanted to be when we started doing ministry as Prism Church. We're really thrilled to be right here in the part of Pasadena where we feel like we're called.
How are we ever going to raise this much money?
Well, it's going to be a team effort, that's for sure. I have agreed as the pastor to raise 1/3 of the $240,000 from outside of our church. For the remaining 2/3, we're going to need to take an all-hands-on-deck approach. We'll need everyone at Prism to take ownership of this fundraising project, the same way we've all taken such great ownership of this fellowship, of this community, and this chapel. We're going to need everybody's buy-in. We're going to need everybody in our church's attention. We're going to need everybody to be seriously concerned about whether or not we're going to do this. And
a lot of prayer.
That's right, lots and lots of prayer. There are multiple ways to take action and participate in the chapel project. You can make a one-time donation or a monthly pledge that can be given to Prism Church over the next couple of years. You also can invite others to give by posting our video in your social media or passing along the link to friends through email. We'll need help spreading the word, reaching out and sharing the vision and hope of this young congregation, and sharing the testimonies of what Prism means to us with our friends and family. Ultimately, if God does not build a house, you labor in vain. So beyond giving, you can partner with us by praying for God's blessing over this campaign and for the future of Prism Church.